At the beginning of the story, we see our female lead. Ye Wan-chu is thrown out of the house by her uncle and aunt, and they say that your parents had borrowed money from us. And because of this, whatever money they have left behind after their death, even their company and house, all that is ours. Ye Wan-chu is walking on the road and wonders why this happened to her. She sits down on the side of the road. Just then, our male lead, Ching Huai, comes there. Ching Huai sees her and asks, "Why are you sitting here so late at night? Go to your home," to which Ye Wan-chu says that my parents are dead and I don't have a home. Hearing this, Ching Huai feels bad and asks her to come with him. In the very next scene, we see Ching Huai's assistant telling him that this is the same girl who saved your life a few years back. Then we see in a flashback that Ching Huai was sitting on the side of a road and he was badly hurt. And then Ye Wan-chu came and helped him. Ching Huai's assistant tells him that Ye Wan-chu's parents died a week ago, and all their property has been kept by his uncle and aunt. Ching Huai looks at Ye Wan-chu and says that from now on, I will take care of you. In the next scene, our story has moved forward a few years, where we see Ye Wan-chu and she is practicing shooting a gun very well. Ye Wan-chu asks Ching Huai's assistant that when will Ching Huai come back? He has not come home for so long, to which his assistant says that he will come tonight. Ye Wan-chu becomes very happy and goes to the maid of the house and tells her to quickly prepare good food. Ching Huai will come back today. She sits for a long time at night and waits for Ching Huai, but Ching Huai does not come. Then when she is going back to her room, suddenly she hears a sound, and she goes towards the gate of the house. Then she sees Ching Huai coming into the house from the front, and suddenly he faints. When Ye Wan-chu touches Ching Huai, she realizes that Ching Huai has a high fever. Actually, Ching Huai was very drunk, and his health was also not well. When Ye Wan-chu tries to wake up Ching Huai holds Ye Wan-chu and pushes her aside, and then starts kissing her. Gradually, they both come very close. In the next scene, we see Ye Wan-chu, who is dreaming about Ching Huai, and she is kissing Ching Huai in the dream. As soon as she wakes up, she thinks that she should stay away from Ching Huai for a few days, and she packs her bag and starts leaving from there. Then suddenly, Ching Huai comes there. As soon as Ching Huai's eyes fall on Ye Wan-chu's neck, he gets very angry seeing the love bite on her neck and asks, "Who touched you?" Ye Wan-chu thinks that maybe Ching Huai does not remember anything about last night, and I should also not tell him anything, because if he remembers last night's events, he will be very embarrassed. Ching Huai repeatedly gets angry and asks Ye Wan-chu the boy's name and says, "Tell me who came near you," but Ye Wan-chu does not answer him. Ching Huai gets very angry and asks Ye Wan-chu to stay in the house. He tells all the bodyguards not to let Ye Wan-chu go anywhere outside the house. Ye Wan-chu thinks of jumping from her room's window to get out of the house, but when she looks down, 2 bodyguards are already standing there. Seeing this, she gets even more angry. Ye Wan-chu starts breaking everything in the house. She even hacks the database of Ching Huai's company. In the next scene, we see that when Ching Huai comes home, the maid working in his house tells Ching Huai that Ye Wan-chu has created havoc in the entire house. She is breaking things. She even burnt down a small hut. Ching Huai asks her, "Where is Ye Wan-chu?" to which she tells him that she is inside in the room. On the other hand, Ching Huai's assistant ties Ye Wan-chu with ropes and makes her sit on the bed. He scares Ye Wan-chu and says that Ching Huai is about to come, and then he will punish you. After a while, when Ching Huai comes there, he starts untying the ropes of Ye Wan-chu without saying anything, and then asks his assistant to give him medicine. Ching Huai starts applying medicine on Ye Wan-chu's feet and says that now you have understood your mistake, right? Now don't do such things again. And what were you doing in anger? You broke things. You even hacked my company's database? Ye Wan-chu asks Ching Huai, "Why are you talking to me so lovingly? I have caused so much loss to you. Aren't you angry with me?" Ching Huai says, "You are very precious to me. These small things don't matter to me." Ching Huai takes Ye Wan-chu in his lap and takes her downstairs and makes her sit on the dining table. Ye Wan-chu asks, "Ching Huai, can I go out of the house now and I am telling the truth? It is not what you are thinking. The marks on my neck are because of mosquitoes. A mosquito had bitten me." Ching Huai says, "Okay, you can go out of the house." Hearing this, Ye Wanchu is shocked and asks her, "Do you trust me?" To which Qinghai says, "No, I don't trust you, but I haven't found that guy yet. And if you are not telling me, then there is no use in keeping you locked in the house." Ye Wanchu says to Qinghai through Jianman that "You are so nice, you take so much care of me." Ye Wanchu tells Qinghai that "Now I have grown up, and I will go to college, I will date. After a few years, I will get married, and then I will have kids too. How long will you keep worrying about me?" Hearing this, Qinghai feels very bad. He pulls Ye Wanchu towards himself and says, "Do you want to date?" Ye Wanchu says, "No, there is nothing like that. I was just saying." Qinghai threatens her by saying that if you even think of dating someone, I will break that guy's legs. In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu standing in the kitchen and drinking water. She tells Qinghai that "I just came down to drink water, I am going back to my room and sleeping." Qinghai stops her and picks her up and makes her sit on the sofa. He says, "You should not roam around the house without slippers, and you should definitely not sleep with wet hair. What will happen if you fall ill?" Saying this, he starts drying Ye Wanchu's hair. Qinghai says, "If you continue to be like this, then no boy will want to come into your life." Ye Wanchu gets angry hearing this, and she says, "What do you want to say? I am very beautiful, and I am also very nice. Whenever I post something, then many boys reply to it, and you don't know that many boys like me. And till now I am single because you are very strict, and you don't let me make a boyfriend." In the next scene, we see a flashback where Qinghai is teaching Ye Wanchu how to use a gun. Then he teaches Qinghai things about computers, and thinks how quickly Ye Wanchu has grown up. The next morning when Ye Wanchu wakes up and goes to Qinghai's room, she sees that Qinghai is sleeping on his chair. At first, she tries to wake Qinghai up, but when Qinghai doesn't wake up, she takes a paintbrush and makes weird drawings on Qinghai's face, and thinks that "Yesterday Uncle scolded me so much, now I will smudge him." Just then, Qinghai's assistant comes there and stops Ye Wanchu and says, "What are you doing? Stop." Hearing his voice, Qinghai wakes up. Ye Wanchu gets scared seeing him and hides under the table. Qinghai says, "Why are you hiding under the table? Come out." Ye Wanchu says, "Forgive me, I made a mistake. I won't do this again." Qinghai lovingly asks her to come out. Ye Wanchu makes a cute face and says, "You won't scold me, then I will come out." Qinghai holds her and takes her out. When Qinghai sees his face in his phone, Ye Wanchu feels that he is going to be scolded badly. But Qinghai lovingly says to Ye Wanchu, "Oh wow, you have made a very cute drawing. And why did you think that I will scold you for making such a cute drawing?" Qinghai's assistant also says to Ye Wanchu, "Yes, this is true. You have made a very good drawing." Ye Wanchu leaves from there, saying that "I am getting late for school, I will leave now." After a while, we see Ye Wanchu with her friend Jianman in the class, where everyone is looking at them both and talking about Ye Wanchu and say how Ye Wanchu is so good in studies and still lost in the computer competition. Just then, her other classmate Dong Siyu comes there. She insults Ye Wanchu in front of everyone and says that "You are so good in studies. Then how did you fail? What's the matter? You could not cheat this time." And she starts abusing Ye Wanchu. Then their teacher comes there and tells everyone that because of Ye Wanchu, their college data was saved from getting leaked. Ye Wanchu intentionally lost this competition so that she could catch the hacker and prevent the data from getting leaked. After a while, we see Aditi talking to her aunt, where her aunt tells her that there is a very big party tonight and many big people will be coming there. Dong Xiu tells her aunt to take her along as well, to which her aunt says yes. On the other hand, Ye Wanchu and Jianman are talking, where Ye Wanchu's friend Jianman tells Ye Wanchu that her mother has arranged 2 tickets for the party, and will Ye Wanchu go with her? To which Ye Wanchu refuses and says, "No, my family will not let me go. They are very strict." Jianman gives her an idea and says, "Don't tell your family and come with me quietly without telling them." Ye Wanchu refuses, but after Jianman requests her for a while, she says yes. In the next scene, we see Jianman and Ye Wanchu at a party where one of their school seniors, Shu, who likes Ye Wanchu a lot, comes and starts talking to Ye Wanchu. He tells Ye Wanchu that you look very beautiful in this dress, and the red color dress looks very cute on you. Just then, Dong Siu comes there and takes senior Shu with her. After the senior and Dong Siu leave from there, when Ye Wanchu and Jianman are talking, some bodyguards come and stand at the gate, and seeing this, Ye Wanchu asks Jianman if some very big person is going to come to the party. Jianman tells that the owner of this building is coming to the party, and he has organized this party. He is actually very rich and a very good person. As soon as that man starts coming inside, Ye Wanchu sees him and is surprised because that man was none other than Qing Huai himself. Seeing Qing Huai, she starts hiding behind her friend Jianman. When Jianman asks her then, "Why are we hiding?" then Ye Wanchu says, "I will tell you everything later. Right now, you just keep me hidden behind you." After a while, Dong Siu's aunt goes and sits next to Qing Huai and tries to flirt with him. But Qing Huai does not pay any attention to her. She keeps clinging to Qing Huai again and again, due to which Qing Huai gets very angry, and he signals his bodyguard and asks him to take Dong Siu's aunt away from there. Qing Huai tells Dong Siu's aunt that I do not like people who flirt with me, and especially I do not like those people who come in front of me wearing red-colored clothes. Dong Siu comes to Qing Huai and says, "You expelled my aunt from the party because she was wearing a red dress. But there is another girl here who is wearing a red dress, so you should also expel her from your party." Dong Siu points at Ye Wanchu and says that girl is hiding behind her friend. "Look there." Ye Wanchu is worried, thinking that if uncle comes to know that I have come here without informing him, then he will feel very bad. What will he think of me? Actually, Ye Wanchu has been brought up by Qing Huai. Ever since her uncle and aunt threw her out of the house, she has been living with Qing Huai, and from the beginning she has been calling Qing Huai uncle, and there is no one else in Ye Wanchu's life except Qing Huai. Qing Huai gets up and starts walking towards Jianman and Ye Wanchu. He asks Jianman to move aside, and as soon as he sees Ye Wanchu's face, he is surprised and says, "You look very cute in this dress." Qing Huai softly asks, "Ye Wanchu, why did you come here without informing me?" Ye Wanchu makes a cute face and says, "Forgive me. I have come only because my friend was coming alone, and she requested me again and again. She did not want to come alone, and she wanted me to go with her." Qing Huai says, "Okay, you don't roam around here and there. You stay here. After the party is over, I will take you home with me." Ye Wanchu tells him, "Okay, I will go and sit on the side." When Ye Wanchu is sitting alone, Dong Siu comes from behind and drops a very expensive jade stone on the ground and starts blaming Ye Wanchu for this. She says, "Ye Wanchu, what have you done? You broke such an expensive stone. Do you know that Qing Huai himself bought it?" Everyone starts talking about Ye Wanchu and says that all the paintings and showpieces kept in the party today are all bought by Qing Huai himself, and they are very expensive. Then Qing Huai comes there. Dong Siu tells Qing Huai, "See, this girl broke such an expensive thing of yours." Qing Huai signals his bodyguards, and on Qing Huai's order, all the bodyguards start breaking all the paintings and showpieces present there. Everyone is shocked to see this. Qing Huai asks his assistant to tell him the total value of all the showpieces and paintings here, to which his assistant replies that the total value of these is 830 million. Qing Huai tells Dong Siu that you have ruined all these paintings and showpieces, and hence you will have to pay 830 million to Ye Wanchu. Dong Siu says, "Why are you lying in front of everyone? All these paintings and showpieces have been broken by your bodyguards, and you are blaming me for it." Qing Huai says, "I have learnt to lie from you." Qing Huai tells all the guests that all these paintings and showpieces have not been broken by my bodyguards, but all these paintings and showpieces have been broken by Dong Siu, because everyone present there knows that Qing Huai is a very big man. They all believe Qing Huai, and everyone starts saying that all this damage has been done by Dong Siu. Qing Huai says that it is up to Ye Wanchu to break and damage as many things as she wants, and even this hotel is hers. You don't need to say anything, nor do you need to create a scene. Then Dong Siu's father comes there and starts apologizing to Qing Huai. and says, "Forgive me. I know my daughter is very ill-mannered. If she has troubled you, then I apologize on her behalf." To which Ching Huai says, "You do not need to apologize to me. You tell Dong Xiu to apologize to Ye Wanshu." Dong Xiu's father gets angry and slaps Dong Xiu in front of everyone and also starts shouting at him in front of everyone and then takes him away from there. After a while, Ye Wanshu's friend Jian Man comes and tells Ye Wanshu, "Ching Huai is so nice. He helped you and he also taught Dong Xiu a lesson." Jian Man asks Ye Wanshu, "Do you know Ching Huai from before? What is the relationship between you two?" To which Ye Wanshu says, "He is like my family and he takes care of me too." Just then, her senior Shu comes there and asks, "Ye Wanshu, are you and Ching Huai in a relationship? And is that why you don't pay attention to me?" The senior tells her that Ching Huai is a very big person. "I agree that he has a lot of money, but he is definitely using you. It would be better if you stay away from him." Just then, Ching Huai comes there and tells Ye Wanshu that let's go home. Ching Huai makes Ye Wanshu wear a jacket and then takes off her sandals and makes her wear shoes. In the next scene, we see Ching Huai taking Ye Wanshu home in his car. Then Ye Wanshu asks Ching Huai, "Why did you suddenly say in the party that all those things are mine, and the hotel is also mine?" Ching Huai's assistant tells her that actually, Ching Huai got this hotel built for you only. Hearing this, Ye Wanshu is shocked. When Ye Wanshu asks, "When did this happen?" Ching Huai's assistant tells her, "A few years ago, when you were in a drunken state, you were crying and telling Ching Huai that I want the biggest hotel, and that is when Ching Huai got this hotel built for you." Next day, when Ye Wanshu and Kushi are sitting and talking in the class, then suddenly, Ye Wanshu starts having stomachache, and she faints. After a while, we see Ye Wanshu in the hospital, where Ching Huai is sitting next to her. Ching Huai and Ye Wanshu talk for some time, and then suddenly, Ye Wanshu's senior Shu comes there. Ching Huai asks, "Ye Wanshu, if this is the same senior who has been troubling you again and again," to which Ye Wanshu says, "Yes." Ching Huai softly says in Ye Wanshu's ear that I am just pretending and starts kissing Ye Wanshu. As soon as the senior comes into the room, he sees Ching Huai and Ye Wanshu kissing and leaves the place in anger. Ye Wanshu asks Ching Huai, "What have you done?" To which Ching Huai replies that your senior has seen us kissing, and now he will think that I am your boyfriend, and if he has even a little bit of brain, then he will not bother you anymore. When Ye Wanshu goes back to class and sits down, Jianmen shows her the news of the Le family on the phone, where Ye Wanshu's uncle says that after my brother's death, there was no one to take care of the company, and that's why I started taking care of the company. I even gave many shares of the company to my brother's daughter. Seeing this, Ye Wanshu remembers how her uncle threw her out of the house and did not give her anything, so she feels bad and goes home from the class. Ye Wanshu is very angry, and she goes home and starts practicing shooting. While practicing, she is also thinking about her uncle, and she gets very angry. After a while, she goes to sleep. In the next scene, we see when Ching Huai comes home, the maid tells him that Ye Wanshu did not eat well today, and her mood was also bad. She has gone to sleep so early. Has something happened to her? When Ching Huai goes to her room, he sees Ye Wanshu mumbling in her sleep. Ching Huai thinks that maybe Ye Wanshu is having a bad dream again. Ching Huai soothes Ye Wanshu for some time, and when he is about to leave, Ye Wanshu catches him in her sleep and says, "Don't go." Ching Huai makes Ye Wanshu sleep the whole night and goes to sleep there himself. The next morning we see Ye Wanshu asking the maid about Ching Huai, to which the maid tells that Ching Huai has cooked food for you and has gone to office. Ye Wanshu takes a photo of herself with the food and sends some emojis to Ching Huai. Ching Huai becomes very happy after seeing the message. In the very next scene, we see Ye Wanshu, who goes to buy new clothes with Kushi. While she is buying clothes there, her sister, Lei Yi, comes there with her future husband, Mu Ziyi. Lei Yi starts insulting her and says, "What are you doing? You are a poor girl like you." Ye Wanshu says, "Is this shop yours that I can't come here?" Naman tells Ye Wanshu that we have met you after such a long time, but you are still as rude as before. Ye Wanshu does not answer her. After a while, Jianman comes wearing a dress, and Ye Wanshu says This dress looks very nice on you, and that is why I will get you this dress. This is a gift from me to you. The girl working in that shop tells Ye Wanchu and Jianman, "You guys are poor. Do you know how expensive this dress is? You won't be able to buy it." Ye Wanchu angrily takes out her card and gives it to the girl and says, "You don't have the manners to talk to a customer. Make the payment using this card, and yes, I am also telling you that you are going to be fired from your job soon." In a short while, Lei Yiyi comes there and gives a card to Ye Wanchu and says, "You must come to my engagement." To which Ye Wanchu says, "I don't have free time to come to your engagement." Hearing this, Lei Yiyi gets very angry. Lei Yiyi pretends to fall and puts the entire blame on Ye Wanchu. Mu Ziyi comes and shouts at Ye Wanchu, saying, "I will not leave you." He is about to slap Ye Wanchu, but Ye Wanchu moves aside. The workers working in the shop also start supporting Lei Yiyi and say that all the fault is of Ye Wanchu, and he deliberately made Lei Yiyi fall. After a while, the manager of that shop comes there. She recognizes Ye Wanchu and asks the girls working in the shop, "Did you see this happen with your own eyes?" To which the girls denies. When they see the CCTV video, the whole truth comes out, and Mu Zi gets very angry after seeing this and leaves from there. The manager of the shop apologizes to Ye Wanchu and says, "Please forgive me. I will fire both these girls from the job." In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu and Jianman, where Jianman tells Ye Wanchu that "You have drunk too much. Will you go home?" To which Ye Wanchu says, "Don't worry. My driver is about to come. You go, I will reach home." After Jianman leaves, Ye Wanchu walks on the side of the road, and she again remembers how her uncle and aunt threw her out of the house, and she feels very bad about this, and she sits on the side of the road. Just then, Qing Huai comes there. She gets scared after seeing Qing Huai and says, "Forgive me. I have not drunk much. I have drunk only a little." Qing Huai does not say anything to her, and Ye Wanchu again starts apologizing to her. She says, "Promise me that you will not scold me." Qing Huai calls her to him, and Ye Wanchu hugs him and starts crying. To make Ye Wanchu happy, Qing Huai takes her to a place from where the sky is very beautiful. Seeing this, Ye Wanchu becomes happy. When they are going home, Ye Wanchu's leg gets twisted. Qing Huai sits on the ground and tells Ye Wanchu to come and sit on my shoulder. Ye Wanchu says, "I am not a little girl anymore." To which Qing Huai says, "You will always be my little princess." The next day, we see that when Ye Wanchu is going to school, Mu Ziyi comes there and starts saying very bad things to her. Mu Ziyi says, "I know whatever happened yesterday was all your fault." Mu Ziyi says, "I am sure you are doing all this drama to get closer to me." Then suddenly, Qing Huai arrives there, and seeing Qing Huai, Mu Ziyi asks, "Qing Huai, what are you doing here?" To which Qing Huai replies that "I have invested money in this school, so I can come here." Qing Huai scolds Mu Ziyi and says, "You were saying that Ye Wanchu is trying to get close to you, but why would Ye Wanchu do such a thing? Ye Wanchu gets more scholarship from the school than you earn. She is very good in studies. She does not need you." Qing Huai drives Mu Ziyi away from there. In the next scene, we see a meeting going on in Qing Huai's office. Qing Huai says that "I will give money to the person whose project I like the most." Qing Huai first gives Mu Ziyi a chance to explain her project. As soon as Mu Ziyi turns on the screen, a video of Mu Ziyi with a girl starts playing. Everyone is shocked to see this. Qing Huai says, "Were you going to show me this? This is your project." Mu Ziyi's father apologizes to everyone and slaps Mu Ziyi. Mu Ziyi's father says to Qing Huai, "Please forgive me. I will take my son and leave from here." Actually, this video that was played was done by Qing Huai because he felt very bad when Naman was harassing Ye Wanchu. When Mu Ziyi is leaving the office, Lei Yiyi comes there. Lei Yiyi slaps him and says, "We are about to get engaged, and you were with some other girl. You have betrayed me." And while saying this, she is shouting a lot at Mu Ziyi, while on the other hand, some girls make a video of this thing. In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu sitting in Qing Huai's office, eating chips and being happy after watching the video of Lei Yiyi and Mu Ziyi's fight. Then Qing Huai comes there. She hides the packet of chips on seeing Qing Huai. Qinghai peels the chips for her to eat. But Ye Wanchu says that you should try it once. It is very tasty. Ye Wanchu starts feeding her chips. Ye Wanchu tells Qinghai that my uncle is very cute and handsome. And then, holding Qinghai's ears, she says that why are your ears so red? Qinghai tells her that you cannot touch anyone's ears like this. And he says this, and pushes Ye Wanchu's hand away. But Ye Wanchu again grabs Qinghai's ears. And as soon as she touches her ears, Qinghai pulls her closer to himself. And Ye Wanchu panics and says, please forgive me. I made a mistake and I will never do this again. In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu at her home telling Qinghai that her grandfather has invited her for dinner. But she doesn't understand why her grandfather has called her after such a long time, because her grandfather doesn't like her at all. Hearing this, Qinghai gets upset. Ye Wanchu says, don't worry, and if you care about me, then send the driver with me. In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu going to her grandfather's house for dinner. Her grandfather shouts at her and says, you came late here also. You are such a rude girl. She does not say anything to her grandfather and sits there quietly. Ye Wanchu asks her grandfather that this is the family's dinner right. So what is Mr. Wang doing here? Ye Wanchu says, are you getting Le Yiyi engaged to Mr. Wang? Because Le Yiyi's marriage with Mu Ziyi has been broken. To which Le Yiyi says, everything is fine between me and Mu Ziyi. Le Yiyi's mother tells Ye Wanchu that you are misunderstood. Actually, Mr. Wang is single, and he is looking for a girl for marriage. And you are also single, that's why your grandfather has thought of getting you engaged to Mr. Wang. Ye Wanchu says that he is of the age to become my father, and you are planning to marry me to him. Ye Wanchu insults Mr. Wang a lot, due to which he gets angry and leaves from there. Yiyi's mother tells Mr. Wang that when Ye Wanchu will be in a drunken state, I will bring her to your room. After that, you can do whatever you want to do, and then Ye Wanchu will have to marry you. Hearing this, Mr. Wang becomes very happy and goes to his room from there. Le Yiyi tells her mother not to worry, I will take care of Ye Wanchu. As Le Yiyi is going to Ye Wanchu with the anesthesia, a man comes there. In the next scene, we see that when Mr. Wang comes out after taking a bath, he sees a girl sleeping on the bed. He thinks that the girl is Ye Wanchu, and that is why he goes close to her. But the girl is not Ye Wanchu but Le Yiyi. And seeing this, Mr. Wang is shocked. Le Yiyi's mother is also standing outside the room and hears the sound, and thinks that it is Ye Wanchu inside. And she enters the room thinking that now she will force Ye Wanchu to marry Mr. Wang, but she is surprised to see Le Yiyi inside. After a while, Mu Ziyi comes there. Mu Ziyi gets very angry after seeing all this. He slaps Le Yiyi hard and says, I did not know what you were doing behind my back. Saying this, he breaks the engagement with Le Yiyi. In the next scene, we see Ye Wanchu and Qinghai sitting in the car. Ye Wanchu gets a message from her friend Jianman on her phone, and Jianman sends her some photos of a boy. When Ye Wanchu smiles after seeing those photos, Qinghai feels very bad. Qinghai takes the phone from her hand and starts looking at it. Qinghai asks her, why are you looking at this boy's photo? Do you like him? Then Ye Wanchu says, yes, he looks very good. To which Qinghai says, but yesterday you told me that I look the best. Ye Wanchu says that you may look good, but you are sensible and mature. On the other hand, this actor is young and hot. Hearing this, Qinghai asks, Ye Wanchu, do you like young and hot boys? To which Ye Wanchu says yes without thinking. Qinghai feels very bad and gets out of the car. In the next scene, we see Qinghai eating food at home. When Ye Wanchu comes there, Qinghai turns the chair towards himself on seeing Ye Wanchu, but Ye Wanchu goes and sits on another chair. Ye Wanchu does not pay any attention to Qinghai and eats her food silently. Seeing this, Qinghai gets angry and breaks his glass, but Ye Wanchu still does not pay any attention to him. Qinghai leaves from there in anger. After a while, we see Qinghai sitting and drinking with his friend. Qinghai tells his friend that he feels a girl has fallen in love with him, but the girl is not expressing her love to Qinghai. Qinghai also loves her, but is unable to understand what he should do, to which his friend asks him, "Are you sure that the girl loves you?" Qinghai shows him his phone and says, "Look, she has sent me a heart, which means she loves me." Qinghai's friend makes fun of him and says that nowadays everyone sends hearts to each other, but it does not mean that the other person loves you. Qinghai feels very bad after hearing this. In the next scene, we see Qinghai returning home in a very drunk state. When he goes to Ye Wanchu's room, Ye Wanchu is sleeping there. He goes and sits beside Ye Wanchu and kisses her. Ye Wanchu wakes up in a short while, and seeing Qinghai in a drunken state, she tries to handle him. Ye Wanchu consoles Qinghai, saying, "I am here. I will take care of you. You go to sleep." Next day, when Ye Wanchu is going somewhere while talking to Janman on phone, some boys come and stop Ye Wanchu and threaten her. They say that we have come here to teach you a lesson. Those people move forward to beat Ye Wanchu, but Ye Wanchu beats them all and throws them on the ground. Ye Wanchu moves forward to beat them more. Then lost in her thoughts, and when she enters the house, Qinghai sees her. Qinghai calls her over and asks what happened to you. Why are you sad? To which she replies that nothing happened to me. When Qinghai asks her again, she says, "Forgive me. I went to get the doll for you, but I forgot." Qinghai asks, "Why did you go to get the doll?" To which Ye lies to him and sits quietly. At night, when Ye Wanchu goes to sleep, Qinghai comes there with his pillow and starts sleeping there. Ye Wanchu says, "What are you doing here?" To which Qinghai says, "You were the one who told me yesterday that if I am scared, I can come and sleep beside you." Ye Wanchu says, "This is wrong. We can't sleep like this." Qinghai makes a sad face after hearing this and starts leaving from there. Then suddenly, lightning strikes and Qinghai pretends to be scared. Ye Wanchu feels bad seeing Qinghai like this, and she tells Qinghai that it is okay, you can sleep here. Ye Wanchu puts Qinghai to sleep by singing a lullaby, but she herself falls asleep before Qinghai can fall asleep. In the morning,